So what's up, y'all?
It's Quentin.
And it's Katera.
And today we are talking on LTAR. Let's talk about reality.
You dig it?
Hey, you dig it? What? I forgot the camera right there.
Yeah, me too. This is weird. Okay, so y'all, this is the first time that we're recording a podcast live. So like, we're used to like speaking into the microphone, like, you know, close. Even though we don't got to be that close, but you know, we used to just having to focus on this and not this and this at the same time.
So we wanted to let y'all see an actual feed video, however you want to put it, and us doing it live while we actually recording. And now we recording on here too, so you see it. And on today's episode, which one is it? Episode 5. It's relation. Oh, my bad.
Let me help you with it. Yeah.
It's relationship advice part 2.
Yeah, so last week we talked a little bit about, we just kind of made it funny because we're talking about kind of our past experiences and things that we've been through and, you know, how we've grown since then. If you want to go listen to our past episodes, check us out on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Spotify, Google, Amazon, like everywhere you would want to listen to your podcast, that's where we are. And we've done pretty good, but we wanted to bring it to our YouTube platform because we see that you guys are interested too.
Thanks.
Yeah. So today, like you said, we're talking about relationship advice.
And you know, we just want to talk about how like we learn from one another. Each day we wake up and grow, and just talk and communicate, and how we work together.
Yeah.
And part of it is, when you are trying to, or how you can put it, when people say they want to be with somebody, if you really want to be with that person, you really need to put 100% into it. Being with that person. So it's not like you got to stress yourself out, beg, plead, and with us, it's like we don't do that with one another. It's even.
Yeah. I feel like ways that we really just learned one another is like, especially with being in quarantine, we just had to be around, well, we didn't have to be around each other, but we were around each other more than you would be if there was more things going on, if you had more things to do. And I feel like that kind of allowed us to learn each other better, because like we said in like episode 1, episode 2, like when we first got together, we had car dates, and all we did in the car was sit in there and talk. You know, we didn't, or we watch movies. But most of the time in the beginning, all we did was sit in there and ask each other questions. Like, it was really just a get to know you. I'm really interested in knowing who you are, and yeah, it kind of worked out for us.
Yeah, and I liked it. I loved it. It was something different, and it was something that I ain't never experienced before. Cause as a guy, when you have your younger days, sometimes you just wanna partake in stuff with females, whether they say they down and really not down. And sometimes you make young and foolish mistakes, and sometimes as a guy, you use females. Just to be real about it, a lot of guys not willing to admit it, but I mean, I've been there before. But once you know, like, that's not good, you don't play with girls' hearts or women's hearts, like, you good. And with Katera, it's like, hey, that's what I wanted, and I'm down for it 100%. And that's how I've been since the first time I ever said something to her.
The biggest thing is, like, when you first are getting to know someone, or you want to know more about the person you're interested in, like, don't be afraid to ask questions. Like, either they can answer it or they don't. But you'll know if they don't answer it, that's also an answer. Like, but don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to let one another know about your past, what happened in your past relationship. Just let one another know about things that you expect in the beginning. Don't be afraid to just kind of pay attention to the other person. You really have to pay attention, because a lot of people can say a lot of stuff, but their actions don't match up to it. Like, you really have to be very observant. But I feel like with us, we just learn one another from being around each other. all the time, and we're basically like the same person, really. We have our differences, but majority we had so many similarities. It kind of shocked us because we were like, dang, like where have you been all my life type stuff.
Yeah, it's like it's like, you know, thinking it's like, dang, I've been feeling like I've been knowing you since third, second grade, you know, and then it's like the bond is just like I've been knowing her my whole entire life, and that's something, you know, you work on. You want it to get more tighter than what it is. Make you appreciative, grateful for it, thankful for it, and it allows you, when you got something like that, you can be yourself. You know, you don't have to feel like, oh, I gotta change for this person. Cause when you do that, you're stepping outside the box. And we work on talking, communicating.
And that's a big
It's
thing.
the little things.
Yeah. Ways that we like really worked on communication, because that's something that we have neither one of us have experienced in our past relationships, was like good communication, just saying how you feel when you feel it, or explaining what you like and what you don't like. And most of the time the way we communicate is like, if we know something is wrong or if we feel some type of way, we may not say it right off because we're still working on that. Like I said, no one's perfect, but most of the time when we get our thoughts together and we can like really think about how we feel ourselves, then we're able to communicate it to the other person and say, well, hey, I didn't really like when you did this, or I didn't really like that, or just anything, or saying, hey, it'll be cool if we tried this, and the other person's open to it and open to listening. And that's a big thing too, listening. I might have a problem with that. He might be able to tell y'all that, but yeah, he's a great listener, and I've had to work on that too. Like, listening is a big part of it as well, because if you're not listening, if you're not soaking in what the other person is saying, but it's all about how you feel, then that can cause conflict too.
Yeah. And sometimes when you don't listen, and when times you really do need to listen, it put a person in a place where it's just like, well, I know if I ever had to tell them something serious, I know it's gonna go on. So I mean, what's the point? And then it gets to being, sometimes, you know, if you do that, and like if you're out there and you with somebody, and you know y'all may be on that, like, don't let it get to that. Especially if you're a guy or you're a dude, you're supposed to be running a relationship. Don't let it get to that, because if you get to that point, it ain't gonna be nothing but a bunch of words you probably both regret, and it started just going downhill from what it probably was. It started out as. And if you got communication problems, or you know, you just feel like you feel like the person you may be scared to open up, whatever it is. I mean, just work on it. Just try to see and compromise with your loved one, and see what's up.
I mean, what are some ways that like you feel that we communicate now that you haven't experienced before?
Well, actually, just having, like, some people just don't know how to talk and have conversation.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people have conversations about nothing. Like, I don't get appealed to that. Like, and it's, you know, a lot of people in this world, they do. And whether it's on, you know, sometimes social media or whatever you get on sometimes, just to look at stuff.
Yeah.
Even if it's not around, if you do it around you and people ain't talking about nothing. You know, a lot of people, that's just what they want to talk about. Nothing. And I don't feel right with vibes like that, because I be like, so this is all you gonna talk about? And I know, like, with you, we actually have real conversations. We actually sit down and talk, kick it, spend time with just, like, real quality time. And so it make things easier. It feels good when you can get stuff off of you and not just be like, well, who I'm gonna talk to? You know, you talk to your mom, your pops, sister, if you got siblings. But like, let's just say if you have one in the family there, it ain't like that.
Yeah.
I mean, who you gonna go to? You would like somebody to be there to listen. Outside of you talking to God or whoever, you know what I'm saying, you talk to. Yeah.
So, like, as a man, how would you give advice to other men who are having this problem in their relationships? Like, what would you say do? I'll say my perspective next.
With communication? as a man, you should never let a girl not know what's up. First off, let's just be real, cause I'm gonna be the first to tell you, like, my past mistakes of being young and having to grow up and learn. Like, I thought I knew it all. I'm just gonna be 1K. I did, and I thought I had things figured out about girls, but girls can be like slippery under your finger type. You know, if you got siblings like sisters or close cousins just like that, mothers and grandmothers and older siblings in your family, it'll teach you something about women and how to respect them, how to understand them, nurture them, care for them, whatever. It'll teach you things, and I thought I had it figured out, and it'd be the time, like, girl could do something out of nowhere, and you be like, dang, why she on that? Girl can be on anything. So, I mean, as a man, you gotta know that you gotta listen to a girl. If she wanna be loved, love her. I mean, all girls wanna be loved. Let's just be real. Girl, they need it. Be there for them. Be their shoulder to cry on. They come and talk to you and tell you real deep stuff. They don't just tell people that. You know, you gotta know that, because that's serious. Mm-hmm. When they come to you, especially if you that one. I don't care. I mean, if it's in the process, y'all not dating, but they come to you about something real, more than like you gonna probably be the one. So if you in something like that too, it's just like, figure it out, ask her what's up and what it is, and if it's not that, I mean, tell her what you gonna do, so she don't be, you know, just thinking she can do this or do that, cause she gonna go. A lot of girls go off what you do. A lot of women they go off what a man does. So it's like, you treat her like this, she gonna treat you like that. So I mean, I like to say is just be real all around, and don't ever think it's cool to cheat. If you feel like you gotta cheat, just be single, man.
Please,
just be single. If you wanna be single like Pringles, just do that. Like, don't tell a girl, oh, I wanna date you, wanna be with you and all this, but then you got about 1,000 other junk. He in your line constantly. You got a girl steady saying, "Who is that? Who is that?" And then you gotta hear, "Oh, bro, get out of my face!" Like, come on, just be real. Like, for real, just tell them what it is.
I feel like, what I had to say. What I had to say. Okay, yeah, for women, like, I feel like you will know. You kind of get a vibe from your significant other, because I'm not just gonna say it's just male or female. Whatever you prefer, you're gonna get a vibe from that person, straight off rip. A lot of times we ignore it, and that's the problem. Because when you ignore something, then you come up with some kind of like thing in your head, some kind of
even in the back.
You know what I'm trying to say. You come up with something in your head, a scenario in your head that's not reality, and that can cause you to be hurt. Because for one, like we were saying, learning about your significant other, make sure that person is on the same page as you. Don't force someone to try to like, oh, tell me about this, tell me about that. Don't force someone to get to know them. Like, if they're not feeling it, they're just not feeling it. Don't force it. Don't be like, oh, well, I'm gonna stick around. Maybe one day he'll come around. Like, a lot of times, if he's not like on your level, don't wait around. And especially like with communication, like if you are in a relationship or whatever, situationship, entanglement, etc. If you can't communicate with that person, there's no need to be in that thing. Because a lot of times when you can't communicate, it always feels like it's like a problem for you to try to just explain to someone how you feel about a certain thing that they did, or it's like they're always annoyed by whatever you say, and you're just confused. You're like, dude, like, why are you tripping all the time? I'm just trying to tell you how I feel. It's like, however, your feelings don't matter. Your feelings aren't valid. Don't try to stick around and try to hold someone down, try to prove that you're down, because you're not proving anything to anyone at all. You're proving something to yourself later on down the line, that you'll figure out that you were just being dumb, young and dumb, which we all make mistakes, but just really try to save yourself from that. Because a lot of times, if they can't get it right the first few times and you keep giving chance after chance, it's not gonna work. And if you keep trying to communicate yourself to someone and they don't give a F, it's not gonna work. If you keep trying to talk, if you're talking and he's like, or he or she is like, oh, and what you say, huh, like every time you say something, it's like a huh or what, what. Like,
Oof.
I know that'll piss you off. So don't really put yourself in that kind of situation, and don't try to expect someone to like want to be with you if they can't properly communicate with you. Like, you won't be happy in the long run because you'll eventually get tired of not being heard. To hear the remainder of this podcast, please check it out. It's linked in the description. Please subscribe, and see you later.